Hello there, I'm Raheela Mahomed. Europe is bracing to see if Moscow will resume natural gas deliveries via the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. The pipeline is due to come back online later today after a 10-day scheduled maintenance period. But Russia's President Vladimir Putin is threatening to curb deliveries via Nord Stream 1, claiming Western sanctions are preventing needed repairs. As the EU faces a looming energy crisis, member states are being told to reduce gas consumption by 15% until next March.
The European Commission has asked EU citizens to use less warm water, switch off the lights and turn down the heat and air conditioning to prepare for a winter without Russian gas.
Russia is blackmailing us. Russia is using energy as a weapon. And therefore, in any event, whether it's a partial major cut-off of Russian gas or a total cut-off of Russian gas, Europe needs to be ready.
And in order to be ready, Ursula von der Leyen had one big message. Everyone in Europe has to save energy, starting now. The EU is asking all member countries to reduce their gas use by 15%, first on a voluntary basis. Then, in case of severe gas shortages, the measure could become mandatory. It's a scenario the EU Commission hopes to avoid.
If we do nothing, one thinks sure we will have shortfalls. And shortfalls will not just affect the countries where the shortfalls happen. They will affect every single member state because they will have serious consequences on our economy.
Energy solidarity among EU members is set to become a big topic in Europe once it gets colder. But it's not at all clear all 27 states will get in line. They are not all equally dependent on Russian gas and face different levels of emergency.
We have seen Hungary, for example, closing down their energy market border, not allowing a flow out of the country of gas. If this becomes an action taken up by other governments, if countries start to close down their energy markets, we are going to be in trouble.
Because the EU won't be able to draw on enough energy sources to fully replace Russian gas by the winter. Despite efforts to build new terminals for liquefied natural gas, boost renewables and ramp up gas imports from other countries like Azerbaijan. Current gas storage levels are far below the EU's minimum target of 80%. After a hot summer, a very tough winter is looming.
Well, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Moscow's military aims now extend beyond Ukraine's eastern Donbas region, where fighting is heaviest. He blames Western weapon supplies for the change in strategy and insists the purpose of the invasion is to demilitarize Ukraine.
Heartache in the city of Kharkiv, as a father in prayer kneels over his lifeless son. The teenager was waiting for a bus when he was killed by a Russian missile strike.
3 people have been killed, including a 13-year-old boy, and 2 people wounded. Among them is a 15-year-old girl. She's been operated on right now.
Daily shelling pummels eastern Ukraine, killing civilians and destroying neighborhoods. There were 2 strikes. One hit here, and the other hit a grocery store on the other side of the street. And now the trajectory of violence is about to change.
As the West pours more and more long-range weapons, such as HIMARS, into Ukraine in an impotent rage, or in a desire to exacerbate the situation as much as possible. That means the geographical tasks of the special operation will extend still further from the current line.
Russia's pretext for war was allegedly to liberate breakaway regions in the east from Nazi rule, an accusation Ukraine and the West say is not grounded in reality. Now the Kremlin is expanding its attack, blaming the West for its shift in military strategy.
We cannot allow the part of Ukraine that President Vladimir Zelensky, or whoever replaces him, will control, to have weapons that will pose a direct threat to our territory and the territory of those republics that have declared their independence.
He says at this point, engaging in peace talks doesn't make sense. Meanwhile, Ukrainians are paying the ultimate price.
US President Joe Biden has called climate change a clear and present danger that cannot be ignored. Biden is promising to invest billions of dollars to protect communities from extreme weather and support wind energy. Speaking at a former coal-fired power plant in Massachusetts, he said the US must set a global example while protecting Americans from extreme weather like the wildfires. But the president is facing low poll numbers as environmental activists criticize his ability to make concrete changes on climate. But Biden says the fight isn't over.
I will not take no for an answer. I will do everything in my power to clean our air and water, protect our people's health, to win the clean energy future. This, again, sounds like hyperbole. Our children and grandchildren are counting on us. Not a joke. Not a joke. If we don't keep it below 1.5 degrees centigrade, we lose it all. We don't get to turn it around. And the world is counting on us.
Europe's heatwave is causing more death and destruction. Climate scientists are calling the extreme weather a wake-up call and warning that worse is to come because fossil fuels like coal and gas remain the world's primary energy sources. Record temperatures in several countries are fueling wildfires. French President Emmanuel Macron thanked firefighters battling the worst-affected areas of Western France. He says governments will need to plan on what he calls a more structural level in the future. And the heatwave is being felt here in Germany as well. On Wednesday, the country recorded its hottest day of the year so far. Many regions are suffering from a long-term drought.
It's a sweltering summer in Germany. Even in the morning, it was 30 degrees Celsius here in Frankfurt. Just about bearable.
It's already hot, so you have to go home early. We're staying in the shade, drinking a lot, and we've just had ice cream.
The extreme heat is a bigger strain on people working outdoors. At this construction site in Berlin, workers are struggling. On this farm in Germany's north, relief comes from above. The heat is also hard on dairy cows, and they're enjoying the water sprinklers.
It surprised me that the cows come into the barn on their own, and very quickly too, when the sprinkler system is on. They feel quite comfortable with this water cooling them down. They like it.
Meteorologists say at least some parts of Germany will see lower temperatures on Thursday.
Tonight, humid air will come in from the west, making it increasingly muggy. Then thunderstorms will roll in, which could bring heavy rain, hail and strong winds. That'll freshen the air. So while it will still be hot in eastern areas tomorrow, western regions should have cooled down.
But for now, the heat is sparking fires in many regions. 400 firefighters have been battling this single forest fire since last night.
Well, here's a reminder of our top story. Europe is facing a looming winter gas crisis. European Union member states are being told to use 15% less gas until next March. Russia's President Vladimir Putin is warning that supplies sent through the Nord Stream 1 pipeline, which have already been reduced, could be cut off completely. Well, that's it. You're up to date. This is DW News live from Berlin. Stick around, though. Up next is Doc Film, looking at the Indian doctors tricking women into having unnecessary surgeries. I'm Raheela Mahomed. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.